Ziggity Zig talking his way to silver game number 51. Already a couple seconds behind, only 8 seconds behind. This is the recap of yesterday's live game of Ziggity Zig versus TumTook. TumTook Tiny Tim Stimbits. In the Tupperware. Anyway, I don't know where that voice comes from, but I just don't get it whatsoever. Here's the EPM as it looks. Ziggity Zig in the red, TumTook in the blue. I believe it's the blue. There's my view. I don't really care about my view. In fact, forget. Let's zip this up a little bit, and no, we'll leave that because it takes up too much damn space. So I move out. We go have a little peek over here, and let's see. His pylon, TumTook's pylon is a little bit ahead of mine. His worker supply is a little bit ahead of mine as well. There's the 12 gate going down a little bit faster than mine. Mine's about to go down. Poof! There it goes. Here I come into the base. So I come and I check out what's going on. TumTook does not see what's going on in my base, so I now see what's going on in both. Yay! Sauce! So I have the red Protoss this time. I don't even pay attention to what's going on. All I know is that in custom games, I like playing as orange. Orange Protoss! Watch out! It's bubbly and sassy. And don't get the rind spray in your eyes. I don't even know. So once again, just trying to figure out if everyone or anyone thinks that the live games should continue being all live games, just being live games from now on, and whenever there's a really good game, actually do the replay right then and there, or stick to the format that we're in right now, which is 3 replays a week and a live game. And I gotta continue on with the Griff Ventures of Griff, because if no one else, Griff finds those useful because he likes getting his games, he likes seeing a little bit of feedback on there. Just a small amount of feedback on his game so that I can at least point out things that I think are missing or I think might be a better idea, and it gets us a pretty decent dialogue. This is something that I've started doing. If I want them to go a certain way, I relay around. So I'm sort of shift clicking my rally points on a few different things. And, you know, I think I sometimes do it on the robotics facility as well. What the hell was that noise? Was that a car outside? The car coming through these headphones sounds a bit like a lightsaber. It's all like, wow. Not to worry. Alright. So TumTook comes out here, and he does see quite a number of my units. Neither of us taking control of this tower right there, mostly because we both kind of went after it. I decide to move out over in this direction. Oh, TumTook has seen my base. That's cool. So he does notice that I'm off in that direction as well. I see notice me moving off in that direction, so the EPM is not telling that different of a story. That's the APM doing. Yeah, that's pretty good. He does do something about that, but not so much. What's the army tab saying? TumTook is ahead as far as army supply goes. But TumTook is just starting the 3-gate robo right now, and I have my 3-gate robo complete. However, I have supply blocked myself. Man, that means that this game probably would have gone even better had I not supply blocked myself. Where are these units going? So he's looking out over here. Oh, I know what he's after. He's after a forward pylon. Did you see that? He did see that. Alright. Shabiz. Down I go. Lost another damn probe. And another dammity crap damn hell. Pylon. That's what I have to say. Boom! There we go, and I'm supply blocked. But luckily I did see that coming. And just for fun, I start working on the Robo Bay, because when you are supply blocked and you have totally screwed the pooch there, you might as well use your money. So keeping my resources low once again, even with my worker supply being pretty crap, but actually that just tells me that TumTook has far too many probes and no interest whatsoever in pulling off an expansion. I don't quite get that, but that's cool. We'll deal. Because I'm still at 28 workers, despite the fact... Okay, this has just started up here, so now I'm going to get a couple more production buildings up at the front, and this is what happens when I supply block myself, is I then can continue to work on... there we go. So there's TumTook's observer, who is going to sit right there, and I didn't see for the entire time. That's fine. Here's a pylon going down in the outside of my base, which is kind of annoying, because what should have occurred there is if you put that up against the bottom down there, then you can get one unit into the base and then just start beaming, warping them in up along this ridge or probably along here, but I do have this one out on the edge, so that would have prevented that from happening. So I have my observer here, my observer there, but here comes TumTook trying to come in with a whole lot of stalkers. 51-35, however the worker supply is starting to bend a little bit more in my favor, which is good. Let's slow this down and see what happens here. Pop the Guardian Shield immediately. I don't know what Greg was talking about. He said I didn't pop the Guardian Shield, but there we go. Especially in seeing this particular group. And then I cut off his army. Do some damage here. Cut up this next piece of army, which he slowly runs himself away from. So if you look over here at the units lost, number of units being lost there for TumTook. Resources lost is very high for TumTook. I'm not entirely sure why. We're kind of trading pretty evenly right there, except now we're at even army supply. So I did come out on top just there. But now TumTook is rebuilding really quickly, just reinforcing from this. But the only problem is he's reinforcing with stalkers. Oh, there's that Guardian Shield. Alright, so the second one, that's when I didn't have the Guardian Shield, and now I don't have enough for that, and I try to get one force field in there. Now we're up against the units lost tab again, and it seems to still remain pretty even. I'm still coming out on top because up against a large army of stalkers, if I have enough stalkers and if I have enough immortals, then I can take that out. So I just try to continue to make enough units, and here's this army still trying to stick around, still trying to do something about it, but at this point the army supply is so low just because of the income levels, which is really starting to move in my favor. And now that I'm two really well saturated excellent bases, wow, that's not even a little bit true or modest. So there I am, but I am moving in, and I'm trying to reinforce with enough units of lots of different kinds. There's TumTook coming in with a few more stalkers, and then when he ran out of money for stalkers, he just added in one zealot. But one zealot is not going to do it. With this particular size of army, I am pretty much at the same size, but I do have the extra immortals. I have 3 immortals and 2 sentries, so it's the sentries that are really going to help me here, especially with these force fields, except for the fact that those were absolutely pathetic force fields right there. And I grab in a few more units just there, trying to move in these zealots at the front, but it's just not quite going to work. Try to cut them off once more, get right into the thick of things. No production going on at the moment, so let's have a look over at the units lost tablets. Peep over at the EPM, and apparently no EPM at the moment for me. I'm not moving around at all. Spikes up to 120 for no reason whatsoever, and just because I'm warping in some units, but I just do not keep up the pace of warping in units quite like that. Now look at the idea behind things is that the worker supply is much further ahead for me. The armor supply is ridiculously ahead for me. I should have followed him and just finished him off, but the thing is that even with this observer here, for some reason, I didn't see what was going on. What is this probe doing over here, TumTook? I have no idea what you're doing. But that's okay. This observer, of course, is also seeing what I'm doing at the moment. I'm getting 2 more gates, and I'm also getting a forge because I want to start working on +1. I'm also trying to plop out a Colossus. I think eventually I start working on my extended thermal lance, but if you also look at this factoid of things, I am not quite saturated in my natural, but I am saturated at home, so I am about ready, and I have a ridiculous number of minerals. I am not spending as much as I'm working on the macro. So it's about time for a third. Somewhere around now, I eventually end up taking a third, but at the moment, all I'm doing is letting TumTook try to build up his army supply again. But at the same time, at least I'm making some production buildings. I made enough gateways, and I thought, you know, that's too many gateways. I think I've got enough gateways for now. What I really should do is start spending this money 400 at a time. So I got enough gas to start making to start working on my Colossus, and I think I have 3 in each. 3 there, 3 there, so I could definitely use another gas. Oh no, I've only got 2 in one of those. So I could definitely use another gas production type facility, but for some reason, what do we got in here? Alright, where's that observer? Rocks, get away! There's an observer in here somewhere. Boom! There's TumTook's observer, is right here. He's watching me this entire time. I, of course, don't make any further observers. I only have the 1. TumTook decides to just keep an eye on me, which is really interesting. So effectively, TumTook can see, oh, look at the map awareness, knows exactly what's going on, knows exactly what I'm doing. Here comes a bunch of immortals with this small army, but the problem is that when you're up against this, oh, now you see the 3rd base is done. Saw that entire thing happening, did TumTook. Meantime, oh my god, this has got to be a little bit scary. TumTook eventually comes down to the second base here, but as you can see over in the income, it is just not quite enough because this is just being completely oversaturated. Now he's got nowhere to go for the rest of these. His money is down pretty low, and he's still quite a bit behind at the moment, but here comes this enormous army, and there's nothing he can do about it. He's just seeing it wander in, not quite sure what to do, and I have my observer up here as well that he can't quite see just yet, but he's about to. Once his observer comes up here, I can see them, so I do a small force field just to make sure that he's not going to concave me at the base of this ramp. And then all the observers start to blow up, and I think neither of us have one at the moment because we blew both of them up. Oh no, mine's still on the field somewhere. So this little exchange right here basically was the end of TumTook's army because I had just enough, even though I really should have maneuvered my zealots to go first up the ramp. Both Colossus down. May not have been any further Colossus on their way. In fact, here's a few more units just being warped in up here at the top, and TumTook just called it. Worker supply came out on top, and my eventual EPM stuck out at 35. So, I gotta chalk that one up to a few good maneuvers right here at this little choke point and some pretty crappy moves by pressuring in by TumTook. That was a 3-gate robo that didn't really work quite in his favor. Had he made another gateway as he was on his way down, then he could have reinforced as a 4-gate, and maybe that would have been enough, or perhaps reinforcing with more than just stalkers. As I have now started realizing, it takes more than one unit to win a gate. Leave me a comment down below, send me an email, ziggyzig@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Twitter at ZiggyStarCraft. Yeah. What? Are those organic tentacles coming out of the front of the Colossus? They kind of look like it. Colossus nipples? Colossus nipples. It's kind of late right now. Stay tuned.